Hello everyone. Today's debate is going to be about, can Delhi become the new Abu Dhabi of the world? The people sitting on the black chair, namely Viraj and Nayan, support the fact that Delhi can become Abu Dhabi, and the people sitting on the skin color chair, namely Priya and Krishna, support the fact that Delhi cannot become the new Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi's speciality is that it is the safest city for women 8 consecutive years in a row, and Delhi is not so safe for women.
It would be funny to compare the two cities because Delhi is actually considered to be the the most unsafe city in India, and as we compared it to Abu Dhabi, which has been the most safest city for women in consecutively 8 years, it would be a joke to consider or compare them together.
So I personally think that nothing is impossible. Uh, it is Delhi is considered as the unsafe city. It is because of the uh, government and some rules are not safe, laws are not safe. So that's the problem. And actually, the problem is with not the city. The problem is with the government.
You cannot become political about that because okay, the thing is that you said that it is about the government, but public mindset also matters.
India is growing at many fields, but for human woman safety, India is back because we can solve it if army training is compulsory for men and women. By this, India become.
You talked about the public mindset and that the government is not responsible for such acts. But if the government enforces laws, bends laws such as like having jail for up to 10 or 20 years, or torturing the person to death for committing an attack on a woman's dignity, then that might change the public mindset and the public might not approach women in the same way.
Let me remind you about the Nirbhaya case which happened 12 years ago. Just give me a light about what it changed in public. It just faded away. The government didn't made any strict laws, although it was the most disturbing case which has happened and was infamous in India.
So that's why I'm saying that if the laws are bent in a particular manner so that the person will have a very painful death, and it will be public to all people in India, and everyone will know then that if I commit such an act, then I might have to face such consequences. So that so after that the person will think at least 100 times, should I commit such a heinous crime? And that you stated that they did not enforce laws. If the government enforces laws, then this might not happen ever again.
Why didn't the government do that 12 years ago when that case happened? Why didn't the government make stricter laws when the Nirbhaya case happened? Was it unimportant or something?
The case was definitely not unimportant, but like if one thing happens, then people will quickly ignore it. But there have been such cases continuously in such short span. There was Arjigar case in Kolkata also, and a couple of cases appeared in Rajasthan and Ujjain too. So when such cases appear so quickly in India, then the government can think that yes, this is such a bad act. We can enforce the laws. But if these act happens like once in a while, then the public will also think as if, why are you making the laws so strict? but now the public is also thinking that there should be more painful uh, deaths or tortures on such acts.
Can you give idea to make India safe for women?
You have might have heard about Yogi Adityanath. I will tell you what happened. Once there were a man and a woman on a bike riding, and people splashed water on the lady. So Yogi Adityanath publicly addressed it in the Lok Sabha, and he discarded all of the police chowki in that area. He removed them from their jobs. He appointed new police officers. So when he is taking like if someone splashed water on someone else and that attacked their dignity, and he's taking it to such a serious level, then it is possible to think that there might be a change upcoming. If he becomes the PM of India, then obviously there will be a huge change.
So I personally think that the education which is given to the girls, the same education should be provided to men's or boys also, because the safety begins at home. Like if you're giving the education to only girls, so like the boys, like they will just don't have any idea about all those things. So uh, I personally think that there should be no like such type of like uh, मतलब ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि सिर्फ मतलब सिर्फ ऐसे एजुकेशन सिर्फ गर्ल्स को ही दे रहे हैं, बॉयज को नहीं दे रहे हैं, तो दोनों को देना चाहिए.
You mentioned that okay, for many years, as in the ऐसे ट्रेडिशनल वे में हम लोग कह सकते हैं कि people or the parents tend to give the boys education more in the you know past scenarios. So I don't think that changes something. And also I would like to address a thing that pedophilia, which I recently saw uh, a girl dancing in a cute outfit, and the comments on that were severely disgusting, which were addressing, which were actually addressed as dark humor for some people. And then the men, I'm not addressing all the men, but they say that these are just jokes. But pedophilia jokes are not something that should be taken as jokes.
So you know that in Abu Dhabi, when or the whole of UAE and the you can say the Arabian Peninsula, they follow Islamic culture. They follow Muslim culture, and Muslim culture strictly imposes them to cover themselves up. It strictly imposes to wear an hijab and everything like that. And men cannot put a indecent comment like you were mentioning, such as labeling as dark humor and whatnot. If such acts are committed in the Arabian Peninsula, then that person will get a stone pelting to death. So if such acts are also imposed in India, and then obviously if we raise awareness about such things, then obviously it might bring a change to the people's personality, and they might not do such disgusting behavior and label it as dark humor.
Okay, the thing is that we all have to admit that there are many reels that, and also there are many songs that label the assault as cool. I do think so, because the boys in my school, they make dark jokes, you know the किसी girls की body पे ऐसे body shaming, we can say that. And also then laughing at that, I do think that is wrong. And also labeling it as humor or dark humor. And you also mentioned that stone pelting which was there. If India imposes that, there will be, say, There will be many people who would impose that. Even women would impose that because of the patriarchal mindset or something.
You talked about the body shaming incident in your school. I would like to give my personal political opinion. I I wish that there is a dictatorship so that if people oppose the stone pelting, they would have no power to remove it, even if they oppose it, because such consequences need to be imposed on the people who do these heinous acts. And you mentioned that the boys were body shaming the woman. If I was the prime minister, then I would give them the same punishment, because that is not acceptable in my eye.
But dictatorship, as we always say, the coin has two sides. Dictatorship can also have bad sides. But I do think, as an opposition, I support the idea that India should have dictatorship. But it might affect some other sides of India. I don't have much data on that, but I do think it will affect. Because democratic country, we cannot say that India is much of a democratic country these days. It is a so-called democratic country, as per my view.
So even if it is a so-called democratic country, and you are saying that it's a dictatorship, they can still impose such laws. There is no need not to impose such laws. It's just that people don't support it. And if it is a proper dictatorship, which, like, there are strong leaders for a dictatorship, they need to be strong leaders who can take strong actions. Like, you take Russia for example, people hate Putin in the western areas. US hates Putin, Germany, UK, everyone hates Putin. But can they do a single thing against him? They cannot, because they know that Putin is a very powerful man and he can do whatever he wants. So if India is a proper dictatorship now, and the leader is a very powerful one, like our current prime minister or Yogi Adityanath, for example, if they manage to take such strong decisions and become such strong leaders, then nobody can oppose them, and they will have full power and full authority to the nation. And if they have the full authority, then they might impose such laws. But now India does not have such a dictatorship. That's why it's not imposable.
You're saying that in current scenarios or in 2 or 3 years, Delhi can not become Abu Dhabi. If अगर योगी आदित्यनाथ बन भी जाता है तो उसकी 3-4 साल बाद ही चेंज आएगा. I do think so. We change takes time.
Why do you think that it will take time for Yogi Adityanath to take a change? I mean, he came into UP when UP was considered, UP was like a catastrophic state, man. Nobody wanted to go there. It was not a tourist attraction in the first place. Uh, वहाँ पे तो सब गुंडे लोग घूमते थे ऐसे ही खुले. और योगी आदित्यनाथ के आने के बाद उन्होंने बुलडोजर वगैरह सब जगह चलाना चालू कर दिया. तो फिर जब वो आने के बाद में, जब सिर्फ सीएम है वो, और वो इतने खतरनाक एक्शन ले सकते हैं बुलडोजर चलाने जितने, so why can he not impose such a law in just a matter of 1 or 2 years? I mean, BJP managed to impose the Article 370 Act in just 5 years. It is a very, like, Article 370 removal was a very huge thing at that time. And if they can commit such if they can change such things, then why can they not change the constitution a little bit, or change the laws a little bit, so that people will get a tougher punishment? Yogi Adityanath can definitely do that in 1 or 2 years.
I'm not saying that he cannot do that, but I do think change में time लगता है. 1 या 2 साल तो लगेंगे और ऑफ कोर्स 1 साल तो लगेगा, मिनिमम 1 साल लगेगा चेंज आने में. लॉज, क्योंकि our constitution is also the most detailed constitution and it is the longest constitution. to be ever written as per my knowledge. But yeah, I do support your idea that dictatorship can solve. Do you think dictatorship can solve all these assaults and crimes?
We can take one step at a time. Dictatorship can solve a lot of the problems. A lot of the problem will still stay unsolved. Them people might use advantage of the person who is the prime minister, but that is a different thing to look at. Such essays can definitely be solved by a dictatorship, if that person wants to do something, and if that person does not become a people pleaser. And a strong person is not a people pleaser. So a dictatorship with a strong person can definitely change a lot of things in a very minute time, or in a very small amount of time.
Okay, so I think we can conclude our debate like that. Uh, the solution can be dictatorship. Okay. So the solution of this and the conclusion of this debate was we can make our country dictator as a monarchy only if we have strong minds and strong people who are neutral, gender sensitive, and you know logical about those things, unlike our current prime minister. Thank you.